welcome to a session on vectors. So if you saw my previous videos, we covered a bit enough of vectors to do a small tutorial question. So we're gonna get into this question today. Let me just try my best to highlight as much of this question as I can on screen so you guys can see it clearly. All right, and this question was sent to me by a student requesting to see solutions to this. So let's read our question carefully. So they say relative to the origin, the position vectors of the points A and B are given as follows. OA is 9, 0 and OB is 3, 6 respectively. Remember that position vectors always begin with the letter O. Then they go on to say the points D and E belong to the vectors AB and OA. Can we see that? Yes, we have that point D lying on AB such that A to D has been given as a third along AB. And as well, we also have that they said the points E. The point E belongs to the line OA such that it's a third of the way along OA. Now, I like to write down on the side anytime we have gotten bits of information in vector questions. I always like to just write that to the side so I can remember that when I find myself having problems, it's usually because I have not used information which the question has given me. And as well, I'm also going to state all the values of vectors that the question has given. So they gave us two vectors, two position vectors having the following values there. So that's all our essential information, 4 bits of information. Now we can go ahead and begin to work. So they go on to say the following diagram illustrates this information, and you can actually see this information on the diagram. It creates a triangle and you have all your points connected. They have denoted the direction of OA as being positive and OB as being positive as well. Now they want us to express the following vectors in the form AB. So the first question they want us to find is the vector AB. Now to do this, you can look at your diagram and you can see that your starting position is O. You can choose to go this route. So we start at A, we end up at O, and then you can continue along this route, which is OB. Using the diagram, you can see that AO is in the opposite direction of our arrow, so that we're going to have a negative sign here, and that vector O to A, we'll simply write it in. And you also have, we are traveling along the vector OB, and OB has a regular value of 3, 6 in that direction. And therefore AB is simply equal to -6 and 6. And I'm going to write those values in my question so that I'll know I have that bit of information to work with for the future. Now there's another way you could have worked this question, and I'll show you. Remember that famous vector rule? You can apply it because the question did not specifically say you had to use the diagram to solve. So you can split AB up using your vector rule, where it's always the second letter minus your first, and you can simply just substitute your values of your vectors, and you would still end up getting -6 and 6. So both methods hold. All right, so let's look at the second question now. So the second question, they want us to find the vector OD. Now you can see the location of the And D is actually located along AB. So if we wanted to use the roots in the diagram, if we wanted to start from point O and get to D, we'll have to traverse O to A, and we'd need to move from A to D. Now, we do have the value of OA, and they said that the value of AD is given by a third of AB. So if you wanted to work this question, it would be OA, which is given by 9, 0, plus a third of AB, because AD is equal to a third of AB. So we are simply substituting. Question has given us that bit of information. So in a new line, I'm going to work out that. And what was AB? AB was found in the first part to have a value of negative 66. So we are simply going to substitute that value of negative 66 here, and doing some basic calculations, we will get a third of 6 gives us negative 2 and 2 here. And finally, that should give us the answer of 9 subtract 2 gives us 7, and 0 plus 2 gives us. So our value of OD, I'm going to write that on screen in case we need to use it, is 7, 2. So that's one way you could have worked out that value. Is there another way? Yes. Yes, there is another way. Let's see how we could have also worked out this question. So that's how you could have used your diagram to work out that question. What about if we consider this bit of information by itself? We have AD is equal to a third of AB. But we also know that AD, if you use the vector rule, you can split that up into OD minus OA being equal to a third of AB. Now you can make OD the subject by simply carrying across to your right-hand side that vector OA. And because in the question we have values for the vectors AB and AO, it's just a simple matter of substituting those relevant values and adding them together. So this is a second way you could have found the vector OD non-grammatically. Diagrammatically. Non-diagrammatically, Miss Guru. Okay, guys. So let's look at that final question there. So we have, they want us to find the vector BE. What is that going to be equal to? So I'm going to choose to just simply use what the question has given us. They have said that OE is equal to a third of OA. So therefore, we can work out OE to simply be equal to a third of 9, 0. And therefore, OE has a value of a third of 9 is 3, and that's 0. So we have this bit of information to work with. And now we could go ahead and work out BE. Using a vector rule, I will split this up into OE, subtract OB, and that gives us 3, 0 from what we just worked out here. Subtract OB was 3, 6. And that gives us an answer of 0, negative 3. Very nice, very easy, very clean. You could have also used the diagram if you wanted. You could have started from a point B. You could have gone opposing the direction towards O, and then you could have gone from O towards E. Either method you use, you will always get the same answer. So I hope this question was clear. I hope that you guys were able to understand and you were able to see different methods that you can use to approach your answer. And if you guys have any more questions like these that you would like to see, please be sure to leave a comment down below and I'll be sure to respond to you with a tutorial on your relevant question. Good to be with you guys. I'm enjoying the rain here at home, and the place is just wonderful for doing